Hello, everyone. Mike Rasmussen here. This is going to be a very personal video. I'm about to tell you my story of my neurodiversity. The year was 2007. It was in the depths of the Great Recession. I have a lot to look back on at that time and the lessons learned and gained, which have made me who I am today and a leader in my own right. In 2007, I was a young father. I had my firstborn. It was in the depths of the economic recession, known as the Great Recession, where the financial crisis hit pretty hard. And I remember how going through a panic attack at the time, wondering how I was going to make it through all this, and then being diagnosed with generalized anxiety. There's more to the story. Much that I'd have to share on another level. But let's just say that I've learned a lot about myself and grown tremendously since that time. We all face challenges that exist. Fast forward to 2020. I was at ADP and I had been there 9 years and I had grown a lot. But I was at a place where I needed to make a change. And in 2020, suddenly we were hit with an unprecedented series of events that nobody could have predicted. I had just been asked to take on a volunteer role by my church as a leader in my congregation called an elders quorum president. And if you don't know what that is, it is one of the most busy roles in the lay congregation, the lay leadership of the church. Lay meaning you don't get paid. So imagine having unprecedented circumstances. Imagine having presented at a couple major conferences, and suddenly you're thrust into this big leadership role that there's no guidebook for. The anxiety was real. But yet, ironically, that very anxiety was the thing that allowed me to connect on a human level with many people and help them through that time and be a listening ear and help them get through it. An amazing time, really. In 2021, I got the call from the church to go, the leader of the talent acquisition function called me and said, "Hey, do you want to come work as a recruiter for me?" And I did. And I was there about a year and a half, but it was in the unprecedented time where talent was scarce. And there was a lot going on in 21 and 22. Imagine, trying to recruit people for very niche roles that have very specific requirements, and that the pool is very small because they have to have some kind of interest in our faith. And there's some roles that are very technical and very skilled that you can only do so much. That was what I was facing at the time. Now, in 2023, I took on the role that I'm currently in. And that was a growth phase because I had to learn a new side of the business, just a different angle. And it's been a little bit of an adjustment. But you had to jump, off of things that you were used to, and then totally change the paradigm of how you see that. There is no guidebook for that either. The reality is that anxiety lives and breathes with you every single day. It is not something that does go away, but it is something that can be used as a strength when channeled in the right direction. Ironically, that very anxiety is the thing that makes me want to get better and keep improving, so it drives me out of fear. Seems interesting, right? to become the best I can be and try to keep getting better and keep contributing and keep being giving to the communities that I serve. That's exactly what drives me. And that's what has made 2023 a year of unique circumstances for me from my growth and development. For the first time in 4 years, I spoke at a major conference again. So we have a lot that anxiety does. It is something that helps you with empathy. It helps you connect with people, but it also, on the flip side, makes you doubt yourself, and it makes you feel like you're not good enough. And in that environment, the way leaders can help people with these conditions, like myself, is just to have empathy and try to understand and give a kind word from time to time and say, hey, you've got this. You can keep growing. You can keep getting better. You can keep being an amazing person. You can keep doing good things. You see, that is the thing. So yesterday, I finally shared, after all these years that I have anxiety, on my social media pages. That was a first. Never done it before. As my YouTube channel grows, so too will my influence. I have a vision to get it to 100,000 subscribers someday. There's a reason for that vision, because I believe through, showing people what is possible with their life and what they can become and what they can do to live their best life and thrive. That's what Where's Your Next is all about. I'm at the mid stage of my life. In 1 month, I'll be 45. But it has taken me nearly 35 years. I knew something at 10 years old. I just knew it. I comprehended that I had something that was keeping me, that was making me doubt myself all those years. Year after year after year. And I always wondered what it was. But then I was diagnosed, and I've been working over time to manage this condition and master it, so it wouldn't be the master of me. You see, it's not something that you can easily give up. It is not something that you just sweep under the rug. It exists. But having a neurodiverse person on your team can be a truly remarkable thing. We have the ability to empathize and understand and listen and key into key traits. When channeled in the right direction, it is actually a very powerful skill. So today, I announce on my YouTube channel that very thing. I am neurodiverse. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I have been. There are days it's hard, but I've learned to control it and channel it. So when it's focused, the one other thing that makes it a powerful thing is that it has the ability to focus you, and focus you like a moth to a flame, to hyper focus and to really hone in. So if you have a neurodiverse person on your team, embrace them. Tell them they're doing okay. Give them that. Help them figure it out. Because there's eventually going to come a time where they're going to break out. And when it happens, it's truly remarkable. I'm going to tell you something. I've been able to figure this out over time. This has been my year of a breakout. Now, I don't know where life is headed. I don't know what is coming down the pike in 2024. I don't know any of that. What I do know is I channel my energy and I really hone in and try to focus. And I know that I belong in recruiting because that's where my heart and soul is. I also know that talent is such an important thing, and that people leadership that comes of good talent and good hiring makes good outcomes. So I'm where I belong. Now, to be able to go to the next level, I hope and I can encourage you to think differently about mental health today. It's not taboo anymore. It's not something that we need to sweep under the rug. There are so many people who have some form of anxiety in their life. There are people that have Asperger's. There are people with ADHD. There are people who ask themselves day after day after day, am I good enough? There are people that are bipolar. There are others that are on all sorts of different challenging circumstances. Mine, I am a higher functioning person, which means I have the ability to manage my condition and not let it manage me. Now, with that said, when I say this, it's very important for people to realize that this isn't something that you go to the store and you get some kind of medicine to make it completely go away. It doesn't work that way. What does happen is there are people that I'm medicated, with antidepressants. It does the job. It helps me manage it. Now, with that said, do I have the ability to overcome these things? Yes, I do. Do I have the ability to help others to become more aware of what this issue is and help candidates, hiring managers, people with facing these things become the best version of themselves? Yes, absolutely. My message today is basically this. Where's Your Next is a vision of where people can go. I'm trying to show that story. That's why this channel exists. That's why it eventually will get to 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers someday. It will. Because my journey is a story of the human condition. And that's exactly what it's all about. It's nothing to be ashamed about anymore. So I tell the world, this is who I am. This is what I face. This is my existence. So to any employer who I work for, I will go all out every day. I will put in the time. I will work hard, and I will keep thriving. But there are going to be times where it's tough. And I hope if you're a leader, you will listen and take the time to talk to those folks who are in the trenches with these conditions and fighting through it. That's the thought for today on Where's Your Next. Now you know my story. I hope you'll stay with me. I hope you like and subscribe. And I've learned a lot. And I intend to continue to keep thriving because that's what it's all about. So, shared my story with the world and unafraid. I'm going forward in my life and I'm overcoming what has been a part of my life since I've been born. It's genetic. It exists. The stats are real. You can look at the stats on any of the major associations that support mental health. And I hope you'll take the time to become more aware, more empathetic, and more understanding of those who are amongst us, struggling in these times of inflation, of COVID, of times where it's been hard on talent and organizations. It's more prevalent than you realize, but it doesn't have to be a hindrance. It can be a strength and a powerful, powerful thing if you embrace these folks and you give them a shot. There are many who've given me a shot, and I thank every single one of them. Claim my current boss. Good dude. Grateful to be there. Now I've got work to do. On Where's Your Next? Go forward. Make it happen. Keep thriving. Keep growing. Keep grasping. Keep helping others. I'll leave that with you. Take good care. Mike out.